Frank, top of the Championship, scoring goals for fun, not letting many in. This football lark's easy, isn't it?
Far from easy. Our performance levels have been high, which we're delighted with, because we had the disappointment of nearly making a playoff final, and you go away and you reflect and all those things, and then you come away and you want to go better, you want to improve, and I think the players generally have done. They've been really impressive in their performance, which has brought this run of results. Trying to improve any aspects of our game that we can, work on the training ground. We've got mostly the same squad that we've had since we came in. We've added one or two, and one or two have moved on, but it's given us a long time to work and try and improve as a group, which is a big part of the job. And at this point we're in a good place, so it's important that we respect that. We enjoy the fact that we've had good momentum, but we understand that there's always room for improvement to continue. And the minute you're relaxed in this game, it's nowhere near as easy.
No. Now, of course, you've been here for a year now. That's quite good for a manager nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the modern world that we live in this job. And I think the longer you work in it, maybe you can become more relaxed about that. You try and do as well as you can, which is why you always just focus on the next game, and you focus on the short term as a priority, because you know what it means, and it gives you a real clarity of the work. I'm in what feels like a good place with good momentum, and I'll talk about the club and the fans and the connection of the fans. The owners bought the stadium. This club's been through some very tough times over recent years. And I think sometimes you go through those tough times, maybe they deserve their moment of feeling like they are at the moment. And that's a good thing in my role, to be part of that. And the connection between players and fans is great. So if that's the case, I'm happy. It means I'm doing something right, and I'll keep working towards that. Yeah,
I'm just saying the connection with fans is absolutely important. I mean, the club's obviously had all the trauma, hasn't it, of playing at other grounds for years, and then obviously the whole debacle about the stadium. But to actually own the stadium now, it's a game changer for Coventry City, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And since that moment, I think firstly credit to Doug, because he's the one that's been a big part of, even just here at the training ground, the work that's been done. But then to buy this, to get the stadium. You felt straight away around the club what that meant to the fans, because they've been through those tough times. So I think it was a big lift to everybody, which is a great thing. It's a great thing to feel like the stadium's ours, the little changes we can make, but that's a great thing, predominantly I think for the fans of the club that have been through those moments. So that's been a real positive to the season, alongside obviously the fact that we've been able to get results that mean we are at the top of the league, and that's good. We just need to continue.
Of course, this is your second stint in the Championship, isn't it, as a manager? I remember you at Derby, obviously just narrowly missed out, didn't you, in the final there at Wembley. Can you just tell me, from that first experience in the Championship, I know obviously you've vastly experienced as a player, but what did you learn as a manager in that first stint? And how different are you now from when you first started out?
I learned the rigours of the Championship in terms of the amount of games that you play compared to Premier League, in terms of the league. In terms of the different styles, and sometimes you have to be quite calm across the season, even when you have your moments. We had one at Wrexham this season where you go away and lose a game. I think when you're young, it was my first job, you can react a lot to the bad moment. Like, it feels like you really need to start again and try and fight to get a win. I'm more calm about that. I learned that this league can bring you those moments, and it's a challenge because of the different styles and because of the fine margins that dictate games. Probably more at our level even in the Premier League. You watch a lot of games and there can be, a real mix of stuff, and then a mistake, something happens, or an amazing thing happens, and this is why a lot of people love watching our league. So I'm much calmer with that. I had a great time at Derby. We had some young players that came in. We had a mixture of that and some really older players that have been around. I really enjoyed it there, but now I'm more years down the line in my own experience. I found myself at a club that's really wanting to do well, really craving to get back to the Premier League, which is a big challenge for all of us, and I'm enjoying that challenge.
Just to bring it all up to date, obviously you were at Chelsea twice, obviously that first season when you finished fourth, a fantastic achievement with all the problems that was going on at the time, and then at Everton and then Chelsea again. What do you feel you sort of learned and developed as a coach in the Premier League?
I think you forever develop as a coach through games. I mean, at that point you're managing towards the top of the Premier League or in the Champions League or fighting relegation. The level of the league is so high, it's the best league in the world. So you're forever challenged by teams that might be stronger than you, or you've seen that at Everton, you're trying to find a way to win a game, or the pressures of having to win all the time. I think all those things just culminate that you just you learn if you're sensible. You learn from the good decisions you look back, or the ones that you think you might have got a little bit wrong, and understand some things are in your control, some things are slightly out of your control, and hopefully that gets you a bit more settled. And I like to coach, I like to be on the training pitch, I like to get close to the players. I'm probably more relaxed in myself in that sense now. I work hard when I'm out there and try and relax more and understand the priorities of this job, which is always how can I get this team to be as best it can be to win my next match. And I'm very focused on that. So my focus is always been there, but with probably the experiences I've had, I probably feel a bit more well-rounded at this point to do this job and try and do it to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, and this season, I mean, Coventry have been scoring goals for fun, really. I mean, you must be so pleased with that. And actually, you haven't let many in neither. But in terms of the goal scoring, I sort of remember, I think when Jose went into Chelsea, that sort of happened early days then, didn't it? Is there anything that you've done specifically that's improved that area? Can you just articulate it for me?
Yeah, I think specifically we work very hard with the players, and you would always think we're working at the front end of the pitch with the strikers and wingers, and we do. That's regularly. We would always spend a lot of time working, because I was a big believer in a player. It made me have a career. Is that I worked again and repeat around the goal, different types of finishes. That was my personal thing. So I try to isolate that for individuals and position specific to try and get them repeating it so much here that it comes. But I think as a team, the structure of the team and the way we played and the way we probably developed from last season is that we're a team that can control possession of a game, to try and create chances, to build, to go wide, to cross, to arrive, and to really be in the opposition half. But we've also developed a real fast style that when we win the ball back and we sense the moment, we can play forward, be very quick and clinical in transition. So I think that's been the main improvement of us, is probably from our point of staff, is relaying that message of what we want to be to the players, creating it on the training pitch, showing them in the video room, and then them taking it on board. So the players should take the most credit for the fact that the goals are so well spread. Players are really stepping up and becoming Thomas Asante Player of the Month. Haji Wright, amazing goal record through the start of the season, scoring goals for his country. And we've been doing that without Jack Rudoni for a big part of this season, who's a huge player for us. So we will welcome him coming back to give us some more really competition up there, and more than that, because Rudy for me is one of the best players in this league. So credit to the players. We've worked hard and they've been delivering, and I hope they continue to.
Obviously you've won the Sky Bet Manager of the Month for this month, and you just mentioned Brandon there, who's won the player. Just tell me a few words about him. I mean, his goal scoring form's been phenomenal so far. Yeah,
always a pleasure to work with from day one last season. He had some injuries that were difficult for him last season that he was playing through, and he came back this season with a real hunger and energy. And first day of pre-season, you could see he looked fit straight away. He was hungry, and I was like, oh, here we go. Like I could sense something in him. I knew he had talent. He's a versatile player that can play in so many positions for us. His work off the ball and his energy is always big, but his talent's coming through. And he's a real advocate, or an example of how hard work alongside talent and being positive and doing everything for the team can really pay off. And now he's shown himself in this last month, but more than that all season really for us, what an important player he is for the team.
Obviously the attacking players always get the plaudits, don't they? But then, Matt Grimes, I mean, every Coventry fan that I know told me he really is sort of the unsung hero in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he's not unsung here because, like you say, Coventry fans and Grimes' teammates will understand the importance of his role on the pitch now as captain of the club, to be a very calm figure who's, the captain that I can run a lot of things through and messages through in terms of how we want to play, how we want the training ground to feel. And his qualities to be able to help people around him, the impact he's had in terms of his on his teammates around. That Grimes is so comfortable to receive the ball in so many ways, always seems to find the right passes, work ethic for the team, everything. In terms of a signing, I couldn't ask for a bigger impact, and I think what Grimes has given us since he came in January. And as I say, I think some of the improvements around him are due to how he is. He makes people more comfortable on the pitch, which is a huge credit to him, and he's a real pleasure to work with as well.
Just going back to the connection with the fans, obviously that famous chant, Super Frankie Lampard, I'm sure that's ringing in your ears all the time, but you must be delighted with the way that they've taken you to their hearts, really.
Yeah, I'm delighted. I love it here. I feel like, coming in off the back of a manager that had done so much for this club, and Mark Robins will forever have this huge legacy at the club because of the work he did from down League Two and back to League One and Championship and touching distance to the Premier League. I've got huge respect for that. So I just tried to focus on the job that I could do, to get coaching, to be really with the players and to try and do everything. And then you hope when you do that, that people will see your good work. And I've got a good connection with the fans, and that's generally when the players play well and they see the passion, they see an idea that we work on here and they see it on the pitch. Hopefully they're happy with that, and it's been that way. So I have to say, from day one here, my first game, specifically my first away game at Millwall, I was like, wow, these fans travel, and they travel loud, and that's been constant. And obviously at the CBS we've created this incredible atmosphere. So yeah, thanks to them, I'll keep working, try and keep them happy. It means I'm doing something right here, I guess.
The last game I went to was the Sheffield United one, The Enemy. I mean, what an atmosphere that created. I understand you're a bit of a music fan anyway. I read that you were an Oasis fan back in the day, were you?
Yeah, back in the day and today. I've been to see Oasis, fortunately.
Have you been to the recent gigs?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
I went to Wembley and watched them, and so no, I enjoyed that. I like my music. Unfortunately, I suppose with my age, I've probably more evolved into podcasts more, and I don't know if that's slightly older, but that's. But I do like my music. The Enemy song's really interesting because somebody sent it to me the day that I got the job. Sent me a video of The Enemy, the fans singing the song at Wembley against Manchester United in the FA Cup, and I was like, wow, I'd never heard a song sang like that. And so when I came here, it's a song that really reflects the club, the fans love it. When I was asked about them doing the pre-Sheffield United game, I was like, "Are you okay with that?" I was like, "Absolutely, why not? This is a great thing. It's a great connection of everybody together." And I actually missed out on the show because I was in the dressing room, but I've seen videos back, and I think it's great. It shows you how hard the club's working really to connect with the fans and to move forward and develop. And I'd like to meet the boys. Haven't met them yet, so I'd like to meet them at some point.
We're a similar age group, so I agree with you with some of the modern stuff. I was listening to some of that belting out at the gym earlier.
Yeah.
What is the music like? What do the lads sort of play there, and does it ever drive you mad, some of it, or not?
No, I quite like it. It reminds me of my younger years, and some of the music they play reminds me of when I used to be out more and not having early nights and having children like I do now. So no, the lads are good. They've got their own playlist that they play pre-game, and it's uplifting. It gets them ready. I'm happy. I'm a bit older, so my own tastes are slightly different, but I'm very happy with them. As long as it gets them pumped up and keeps good energy around the place, it's a good thing.
Yeah. What sort of things do you like doing to sort of, to build team spirit? Is there anything that you've taken from previous managers, stuff that they've done?
Yeah, not so much. I try to fill the group that you're working with, and I say it a lot, but these players are a really good group. I remember when I came in and there was, we were 17th in the league, so people were sort of saying, is there enough character in the group? Is it a bit nice, a bit quiet? I heard those words, and I have to say, I've just found them as being a really strong group that are very, very together. You can't help but hear them in the dressing room. I sit upstairs here and they're down in the dressing room, and whether there's music, whether they're playing cricket in the dressing room, mini cricket games that they play, and they mess around together, but when they come out here they work really, really hard. So I don't force too much on them in terms of like forcing, bonding days and things like that. I know they take care of that themselves a little bit. We have family barbecue day here when we can, and try and make sure we bring the partners and children into it and family as much as we can. We do that occasionally. But the rest, I feel it doesn't need to be forced. I feel like we're actually in a good moment here where the players are really enjoying their football. They get on really well together, and as long as they come in here and I feel like when they drive through the gates there's a smile on their face and they're with their mates and they work hard, then hopefully that's a big baseline for what will bring us success, and that's where we're at.
Just a wider question on the Championship. I spoke to Kieran McKenna a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he believes, obviously the Premier League's out on its own, it's in a different stratosphere, but the Championship's actually closing the gap with some of the other European leagues. Would you concur?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how much I study closely the European leagues. I do watch them, but we're so engrossed in our work. But I would say so. I think the competitive level, the physical nature of this league. I've worked in the Premier League with at Chelsea, for instance, and you're signing players from different leagues, and I'm talking higher level players, and they come into the Premier League and they're like, wow, this speed and the competitive nature of it. And I think when you go to the Championship, there's still that speed and competitive. There is a difference. There is, because I've worked in both. But the competitive nature and the levels, I think, are there, and it's a very enjoyable league to coach in because there are lots of different styles as well, lots of different things, lots of different tweaks. It's very hard at times to gauge what certain teams will do. There's back fours and they change to a back five and they have different ways. So that's a challenge coaching wise to try and prepare the players, but that's our job. So I enjoy working in it.
How do you find the sort of the regularity of the games? Obviously, the Tuesday, Saturday, but of course, I suppose that's no different to when you were playing Champions League football for Chelsea.
No, it's not. I never like to get drawn into that too much about the amount of games, because at Chelsea at times we play 60 games a season, 60 plus, and I wanted to play all of them, and I love working in it. And I kind of expect that from the people around me and the players, and they all want to play. They want to play every game. You have to be resilient. You have to have, that right endurance, the robustness about you, and we have to do everything we can to prepare the players and the recovery and the rest and all the things that are so important. Now we cannot flog them every day. We have to get those bits right. So we're trying to improve that already. Still at the club now and trying to move forward all the time as we go. And we try and get that right for them, and then I love it. I enjoy working at that sort of intense level because it's what we do it for. I work here to try and win games for the football club, and playing regularly is never a problem.
I just wanted to ask you about England, because obviously the qualifying's now finished. Watched the Albania game last night. Another good performance. No goals conceded. Phenomenal.
Yeah, brilliant and enjoyable to watch. I watched the game as well. And I'm really pleased to see how it's going with the players. It's an exciting squad. I think you've seen, since Thomas has come in, the work that he's doing with his staff to try and really make it his team and try and bring success as we all want here. So good to see. They've got always choices to make because of the talent there, and there'll always be areas that we don't see from the outside that the management will be looking and going, well, we're strong there, but how can we improve there? They'll still be in that process, but it's great to see the progression.
I heard him say the other day, because the system that they've got, he can't play Foden, Kane and Bellingham in the same team. It sort of reminded me of you in the old Steven Gerrard debate. What did you make of those comments?
I understand it. I'm in this job now, so I understand it. There's some things in the management when you're working with a group, you see it closely, you see it and feel it, and where the best positions, how the system you want to play, can I play those players in it? And in the modern day, even more now. For instance, now the England squad has, I don't want to leave anyone out, but number 10s, you've got Bellingham, you've got Cole Palmer, you've got Eze, Morgan Rogers. There's so many names I could go on. And people talk about our generation, we didn't have 4 or 5 10s at that level. So sometimes it's a luxury that's a difficult luxury as a manager. You have to find the right way. You have to make your decisions and stand by them. And what you try and build is a group that are positive and strong around it, and hope that the players understand that the quality around them means that there may be changes at times. But yeah, that's not my problem. Thomas is doing a very good job, and good luck to him.
And just finally, obviously you were very ambitious as a player. Obviously you're ambitious as a manager as well. So what's sort of the future for you? You're focusing on this season, of course, but something like England one day, would that appeal to you?
I can't never ever go beyond the next game, the next season. This season, I guess if you asked me what my experiences are in football, at Chelsea at one point I had the team, I think, second in the league, and then 6 weeks later I was at home out of a job. And I can reflect on it with that light-hearted feel now, but I understand that in some jobs you absolutely just have to go, what's next for me here, and go day by day. And once you understand that, that's fine. It is what it is, and everything in this job is an experience. You have to take it that way. So I won't get too far ahead of myself.
Now that's funny, isn't it? Because actually when you're winning games, there's the next England manager, and then suddenly, as you say, within a few weeks, few defeats, and you're out of work. I'm too well experienced to understand when you ask me that question that it's a slight trap. I'm enjoying watching England, I'm enjoying watching them progress, I'm enjoying doing the work I'm doing. I want to stay positive, I want to do well here, and that's what it is.